Hi guys! Am I helping the Great Reset? Good question. So what is the context of this question? The context of this question is the Great Reset is happening. It's a stream of population control and population reduction. So once you understand this initiative, you need to ask yourself, am I actually contributing to the Great Reset? Again, the question is not intuitive, but you do have to ask yourself, for all the activities that I'm doing in my day, right, being private activity or being at work, right, am I actually contributing to some extent to the Great Reset? Let's take an example, right? Imagine you are in the police forces and your government is basically using you to crack down on the people, is using you to implement legislation that actually goes against the people and that are actually related to the Great Reset in the context of population control, right? Let's imagine you work for LinkedIn, right? And you are in charge of passing the information online. Well, of course, algorithms do this, but behind you've got people managing those algorithms, passing the content online and detecting whatever goes against the narrative of the Great Reset. Then obviously, if you do those activities, you are actually contributing to the Great Reset. These are obvious contributions to the Great Reset, but they can be less obvious contributions to the Great Reset. For instance, if you spend most of the time buying goods on Amazon, you are actually contributing to the Great Reset. And it's less obvious to you, of course. How do you contribute to the Great Reset when you buy on Amazon? So Amazon is run by a globalist, right? Bezos. And the goal of the Great Reset is to have a few monopoly on Earth, be it Amazon, Microsoft, Google, who actually provide the technological infrastructure to control the people, being through AWS, through different services from Google, different services from Microsoft, right? And if you want to understand a little bit about that, it's about standardization. Once you standardize something, it's easier to control. This is the reason why globalists want some monopolies on the market, global monopolies, that standardize the approach and standardize the way people are managed. It's easier to control again. It's the reason why they also want people to be in main cities and not in the countryside. Right? So you've got to ask yourself if you are actually contributing to the Great Reset. There's a full article on Peopleizer where we describe what are the activities that you do that are actually contributing to the Great Reset. Because it may be hard for you to think like this about it, right? Like looking at your daily activities, listing them, and trying to find out is this activity contributing to the Great Reset or not. So we give you tips, we help you to think about it so that you can categorize and then adjust your behavior. So for instance, if you spend your time buying in extremely large supermarket like food chain like Carrefour in France, for instance, Texaco or things like this, right? Walmart, you should maybe consider buying from a local producer, right? Is there someone in your neighborhood or in your area that actually sell locally, right? And this will contribute more to empower the people in terms of how you allocate money and in terms of how control will grow, because if you actually don't allocate your money toward monopolies that are actually implementing an infrastructure of control, but allocate your money toward local producers, then it will benefit locally, right? Your community, and actually it will benefit you at the end of the day. This is what you really need to understand. So, am I contributing to the Great Reset? It's a fundamental question. We think it's actually the first question you should ask yourself before you want to even confront or derail the Great Reset. Start by looking at your behavior, what you do on a daily basis, and see if you can change anything in the chain of activity that you do on a daily basis so that you can actually move the trajectory from the Great Reset toward empowering the people simply by changing small things in your day. I do understand that changing your habit is actually hard, right? And because of our constant laziness, because of and this is not negative. I am also facing the same hurdle as you guys. Being lazy, I will maybe buy from someone which is near rather than a little bit further. I will not walk to something, I will drive to something, right? But we've got to realize that these behaviors are impacting us negatively. So it's time to change them. Have a look at the full article on Am I Contributing to the Great Reset? There's actually way more information than in this video, but I wanted to get you a feel of the article, of the topic, from a very visual perspective. Cheers. Bye-bye.